Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Apparently not. I already know y'all are gonna be so mad at me for this video coming out later than I said it would, but I promise you it was not my fault at all. Let me tell you why. Okay, so I originally recorded this video like April 2nd, which was a Tuesday or like a Wednesday or something, I think. And I had all the intentions of recording that video, editing it within like the next couple of days and getting it out by that Saturday. Unfortunately, like literally right after I did that video, I had this like cloud of sadness come over me. Like I was so depressed that week. I felt like really lonely and shit. Some of y'all are like, hey, purr, turn it up, do it again, do the remix. But I just like could not edit that week or on the weekend like I had wanted to. And then the following week, catastrophe struck. If you were in my live, I kind of hinted at it, but I went through a little bit of a breakup and I was really sad for a couple of days, but I felt better by the weekend. And once again, I had every intention of editing that original video and then posting it, and I said I could get it out by Monday. Like trust. Change of plans happened. I ended up, oh hi, welcome to the show. That's Genevieve. Actually stopped the track, rewinded a little bit, press play. That Friday my friend had a graduation, so I flew to a different state to go watch that happen, and then I came back the next day and I had work that night. And then I was gonna edit the video on Saturday, spent that day with my mom and cleaning or whatever, and then Sunday cleaned, went for a walk at the park for like 2 hours, and then I hung out with my friend who had graduated because she flew back. So yeah, fast forward to now. I was about to sit down and finally edit the video because this is my only day off this week, and I go to look for it on my MacBook that I'm recording on right now, and that shit wasn't there. It was I wish I would have taken a screenshot of it, but it was literally like a little blank image on the photo booth, and I'm like excuse me, like what? But that's my fault. After I recorded the video, I should have like made sure that it saved, which it did, because like when you press stop, like it and goes there, but I guess it didn't, or it deleted itself over time. I really don't know what happened. So now I have to record that video all over again, but that's okay. Hopefully this time it's under an hour, so let's get right into it. In case you couldn't read the title, today I'm going to be ranking and reviewing recent K-pop releases. This is really supposed to be just like 2025, but some of these kind of came out in 2024, and I was just late to the party. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But what's different is this time I'm going to start from the top and work my way down to the bottom, because I feel like it's kind of predictable of who I didn't really like whose release I didn't really care for, and the top few releases I think are gonna gag the girls a bit. Hey, let's start talking around. Okay, so Triple S and I have a very interesting dynamic when it comes to our relationship. Y'all already know I don't respect them for the most part. Like, a lot of their songs I just don't really vibe with. I tend to have an issue with their vocals if there aren't any present. Like, the mixing is usually not very good. So there's not a lot of food for me to feast on when it comes to the Triple S meal. You know what I'm talking about? And then also they're just under Mod House, so it's just like you never really stood a chance, to be honest with you. But when I was like looking for comebacks for this video, I stumbled across this release because I was like, oh, like this must be like really new or something, because like I haven't really seen anyone talking about it. Like, no, this came out back in like October or so, and I was like, whoa, like how did I miss this? Because I made the review at the end of the year. I didn't see this one, and if I did, I probably just was like, oh, don't care, it's Triple S, you already know it's duru. Okay, so with this Triple S release, Hit the Floor is the title track. Obviously, it's a 90s old school hip-hop inspired song. Yeah, they kind of lean into hip-hop quite often, which is very interesting. And even on Cherry Talk, which is something that I really like, so that's not included in this. But this time it didn't really piss me off. It's really bouncy, it's got an easy groove. There's like this siren in the background. It's so cool. The production is so amazing. The overall composition of this song reminds me of Jam Joint's work with aespa and NMIX. It really does sound like a song that they would do, which, by the way, as I introduced this group or comeback or whatever, you heard me mention the things that typically piss me off when it comes to Triple S's songs. This time, it wasn't there. If you tried, she just jumped from my bed onto my dresser. You're not allowed to do that. No. With my MacBook up there, side note, this iMac used to not have a crack in it, but now it does, because I had a Sony Angel little thing, which is now I don't know if you can see it. but it's right here. I'm gonna zoom in. It's right there. I had it on the computer because I thought it was really cute. I wanted my desk to look cute. My desk area sucks. I thought Sony Angel was gonna brighten it up. This little girl jumped onto the iMac, tried to get it. It cracked. It's like, okay, whatever. So anyway, back to Triple S. The things that I said to like introduce them, like things just piss me off when it comes to their music. None of that was really present here, like missing or neglected or ruining the song experience for me. Specifically the vocals and the mixing, I didn't have a problem with that this time around. Like it was nowhere to be found. And then even more than that, the album was actually really good. Like it actually gagged me. Because like I said, I went into it or just expected it to kind of be terrible. I don't tend to like the entirety of a Triple S album. I'll have my little picks here and there. Ooh, lagging. I'll have my little picks here and there, but I've never like listened to their album in full and been like, oh, whole thing eats. This one, it does. Every song was fun and very unique to them, even though it's like clearly following popular K-pop trends that are like oversaturating the market. The album does kind of sound like a collection or playlist of songs rather than like this cohesive unified album, because we moved through various genres like back to back. Like there's really no two songs next to each other that like you would expect to hear right after one another. It still works is the thing. Like it's not necessarily a downside, it's just something that I had noticed when I was listening to the album. Some highlights from the album: I love Eclair. It's this two-step centered deep house vibey track. It's really fun. Love Soul, I think is how you pronounce that, is like a Christian horse girl based song, but it's like if Christian horse girls took ketamine on the weekends. Like that's what it's giving. It's this really punchy, energetic, upbeat drum and bass track that like remains cutesy, because again, we're Christian horse girls that do a little bit of ketamine. We like to have fun, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, this is a really good release from Triple S, like I said, and I'm low-key proud of them. Like you grew. Next up we have BEOW. I already featured Viola, I don't know, in the best releases K-pop video that I made. Really what it was like a honorable mention, like in the quick little highlight section, because I get tired of editing. So with that, I didn't get to discuss the album in its totality. And even though this album did drop last year, we're clearly not paying attention to that rule. Plus she did give us a deluxe version, which is what I'm going to talk about, so I could sneak Eve in here. Thank you. I Did is a phenomenal album. Hold on. This baby right here is so fucking amazing. Okay, so yeah, I Did is already a very phenomenal album that highlights who and what Eve is as an artist. First of all, the album is light years ahead of what Loop was to me. Loop was already like pretty good. A good start to me. Like there was effort put into it, and I think she still managed to set herself apart from like these other girls. That's what it was to me. So yeah, Quiet as It's Kept, this album was much better than Loop, and Loop is nothing, to be honest with you. I just think this one happens to just push her to the artistry even further into like the avant-gardeness. Like such a fun song, and it's very PC music-esque. Charlie XCX, You're Nothing, Hannah Diamond, You Never Started, You Never Will Start, and We Stand with Zara Larson. At the end of the day, like I don't know what to tell you. It's not a direct one-to-one, but you can kind of like obviously detect the influence. Yeah, it's a really fun song. I play it all the time. I really don't even have much to say about the track, to me. It's just good from start to finish. No notes. Do I even have to say anything about hashtag? Like y'all already know the type of music that I like. You know I love facsimiles of like early 2000s music. I'm sorry, I live for an early 2000s R&B pop moment, and this is exactly what I love. So yes, I'm gonna eat it up. Thank you. Gone Girl is this catchy like folk leaning tune with the bright guitar strumming in the background. It just makes for the perfect like road trip theme song. TikTok was a song that I never really paid attention to because I didn't know if I was really supposed to be honest. Like I know it maybe had like a visualizer, and I know it had like teasers and things like that. Like it was an era for sure on her Instagram, but like there was nothing else that really came from it, so I never really paid attention to it, but it sounds really good here. The bass on it, you already know that I'm living. We all know Dim. There's really no telling what this song was gonna be, and I'm not talking about like its success on TikTok as a sound. I mean like when you press play, she takes us through so many different emotions of hers that it's just like, well, you grew. It starts off with this atmospheric rock leaning sound, and then you're like immediately thrown into this this R&B trap beat, and you're just like, what the, which is like kind of the main part of the song that eventually carries us into this jungle-esque instrumental, which is my favorite fucking part of the song. It's so good, and I love all the remixes that she released with it. Like, why am I listening to that? There's no reason for it, but I love it. Thank you. We did get a deluxe that had 2 new songs, Bird and See You in Hell, the latter being the better song, by the way. See You in Hell is much better, but both of them are really good. Like, don't get me wrong, but you know I always gotta pick a favorite. Both are mid-2000s rock influenced songs that really highlight her vocals more than I think any other song does on the album in past releases. Eve is here and she's eating you bitches up.
Let me show you that, know about me. That's that, show you that, no.
So Know About Me is this confidently cool R&B trap song, which outside of some vocal moments, I guess, is pretty like chill and laid back in their approach. It's good, but it just loses momentum to me at the bridge because of that one girl in the group. I don't know her name, but she has like it's kind of like nasally, and it's kind of high pitched, and like maybe a little bit of throat in there. Okay, she needs to unlock that vocal chakra, whatever. I just don't really like that part. But then they eventually reel me back in when like they kind of drown her they kind of drown her voice out a bit, or I guess it kind of like mixes into the instrumental. It just sounds like really good at that part. I was like, wait, okay, I might be hearing something, because it was about to be skipped. It's not a crazy good song, but from what we've heard previously from NMIX, again, think back 2-3 years ago, anything is better than that. Next we have Slingshot. The ghost of FX's past was using them as a vessel, and it low-key almost made me really emotional. Like, I don't know, it's a very interesting and fun track. Specifically the last 30 seconds of the song is really good, and yeah, it just really reminds me of FX for some reason. Even the way that the like title of it is written, I was like, girl, y'all get this from Kenzie's archives or what? I don't know. Next we have Golden Recipe, which loses me more than it keeps me. I only have so much room from hip-hop tracks with like orchestral influences in them. I feel like we got a lot of that maybe in 2022 in K-pop, and like then they're done that, don't want to hear it no more, like find something else to do. We've reached capacity, and I think it could have like blended the genres a little bit better. Like I don't know, Papil, whatever the name of that song is, it starts off kind of slow and doesn't really get interesting until we hit the chorus. My favorite part of the song is the post-chorus, and it's specifically because of Lily. She sounds so good right there, and also the song is just kind of short, and I just feel like that's because they waste my time in the beginning, because I don't really like that part of the song, and then like once it finally gets good, we only have a minute left in the song. Like, dang. Ocean is the government mandated album closing ballad that every K-pop group will tend to have on their album. It's cute, it's just nothing to write home about. Like, I don't really care for it. By the way, what is that girl's name? I have her album in my collection. Honora? Ooh. She has like orange hair, and she has hey dum dum pop it like a champagne, whatever. They were tugging at her wig a little bit, because she has that like theatrical waltzy kind of sound. They were kind of tugging at her wig, kind of dipping their toes in her lake. But you'll never be mother, you'll never be mother. Hey, this is a positive review of an NMIX release, which I have done in the past, so calm down. BB Girls, this song is so freaking cute, and that's all that you need to know. Just go support my aunties so they don't think it's in the chorus. I don't know if Jennie really deserves 4th place, and I'm not saying that post my niggas pull trigger, not because of that, but because like, is a Jennie album actually this good? Like, think about it. Take the blink cap off. Did you expect Jennie to release an album this good? Like, I think I'm just in disbelief, and it's just like, Jennie at 4? But let me not do too much, because Solo was really like the only good Blackpink solo that we had. Not too much on Gone by Rose, because y'all know that's my song. I think this is a really good effort as a first project away from YG. Like I said, I didn't think my sister could actually do. She's not my sister. She's not my sister no more. I didn't think she could do it, and I think what we had seen from the other Blackpink girlies was kind of like somewhat making me doubt her. Not too much on Rose. She had like good visuals and a good attempt too, but like I was just like, I think that's like as good as it's gonna get. Visually, this release is very stunning. Every single music video, every single teaser, every single concept photo, any visual aspect that was released from this project just looks so beautiful and aesthetic, and it's just so perfect. This album has a couple of good tracks, more than a couple actually. Let me not play her. And I do think that it starts off really strong. It just loses momentum kind of at the last third, and I think she loses me for a number of reasons. Okay, number one, y'all know how I feel about her singing. She sounds like Jessie sometimes she'll give you something cute and cool. Most times I was always like, she sounds like Jessie. Roll the track.
If it's quite alright, I need you, baby. And if it's quite alright, I need you, baby.
But she's also a Korean rapper. I'm not trying to hear that, to be honest with you. And sometimes when she raps, has anyone ever, mind you, I had this script written before the N-word and stuff, but it's just like, buck wild, where did that accent go? Where did it come from? Why do you sound like that? And then the lyrics are kind of like really corny, which is why I don't like, with the Blackpink girls, I really don't like hearing them sing or rap in English, because it just can really get corny to me. Anyway, Jennie's album had 15 tracks, y'all. My girl was on a mission to put the lazy allegations to rest. All of the Blackpink girlies kind of did, except Jisoo, which we'll get to her later. But when it came to like the album length, they all were like, oh, y'all are starved, so I'ma feed you. But yeah, so Jennie really locked in here, but guess what? I'm not. I don't want to do like a full review of the album because this video is already too long. I'm just give you the ones I like and we gonna move on. The intro is so good. I love Start a War. I love Handlebars. I actually heard that when I was in Phoenix on the radio. I was like, I like with the IE, even though I don't like J-Lo. Mantra's cute. Love Hangover, and Damn Right as well. No, I don't like the song that she has with Doechii. Don't piss me off. Doechii embarrassed her on that song. And then Soul City would be good if she didn't sound like that on the track. It depends on if she wants to sound good or not that day.
Baby, I'm so sorry.
So we move on to Seulgi. The teasers and the overall like creative direction for this release was really cute to me. I like the magazine little style that she had. I like the little bat Seulgi symbol thing that she had going on. It was really cute. It was actually really phenomenal, to be honest with you. Loved like the mid-action shots. The fashion was also really cute. To me, it was just really cool and fun, and like, maybe not maximalist, but like just so, you know, in a way that's I feel has been missing from K-pop. But I also don't even really keep up with the girl. I don't keep up with the girls, so I don't know. But just based on like what I see on the timeline, sometimes she stood out. So Baby Not Baby, I don't know what the fuck that means. What I do know, however, is that this song eventually grew on me over time. I never hated it, but on my first listen I just didn't really vibe with it. Cute, okay, whatever, how a lot of K-pop songs have felt to me recently. Baby Not Baby is this up-tempo pop track with like a funky bass and this 80s synth groove that gives it this like spooky feel. So Red Velvet Coated, low key. The verses are cool to me, but the chorus just kind of sucks. First of all, it makes no sense, and I don't like how the K-pop girls will like sometimes just like hop on a track and randomly start cursing. Like they'll just insert it anywhere and we're supposed to gag. Like when she said, I'm so fucking sorry, like girl, I don't want to hear it. Accidentally on Purpose does remind me a bit of 28 Reasons though, but 28 Reasons still clears. Don't piss me off. Just a similar vibe that I kind of hear between the two albums. But like I said, cute next to gorgeous, like the fact that LE SSERAFIM even had a comeback was shocking to me. Like I've mentioned multiple times in this video, I don't keep up with K-pop no more, but I always felt like their teasers were a moment on the timeline, and like the fact that nobody said nothing, like why are y'all being weird? You're weird. Scratch that. I did see it on the timeline. Should I address the Artemis allegations, or should they? Or should you? Let me know. I really liked this comeback. I know it wasn't really popular among K-pop fans from what I've seen. You know when a K-pop song is released and everyone kind of gives their 2 cents on the timeline like early in the morning, it's the funniest thing to wake up to. Like, but I actually really like this. So here's the thing with this release though, it's stripped back, it's less in your face, it's a minimalistic approach, which I'm not really a fan of in theory. Like, I like them for their high fashion concept, the club genre, the very energetic music that they release. That's like the only thing that I really want to hear from them. So it ended up being a nice change of pace, and like I said, I really like these songs. I love Hot. It's the perfect summer K-pop song. Like, for what it is, for the time that we're in, I don't know, it just sits really well and sits really high among releases that I've heard recently, as you can see. And I think the love that I have for it is kind of reminiscent of like how I feel about Klaxon. Just reminds me of old K-pop, and for some reason y'all hate it. Like, I don't know, like I thought this is what we wanted to move back to. Why are you being weird? Even though it's not bombastic and like I said, in your face, it still doesn't like really fall flat to me, even though it's very like inoffensive, you know. Like, I think it just sits perfectly where it's at. The rest of the EP was really good. I'm satisfied with it. I love Ash. I think that might be my favorite B-side, and then Come Over is obviously like a hit. But you know something, when I went to go listen to this EP, why was it impossible to find the first time? Because you go to the Le Sserafim page and you have to scroll a bit because they have 3,000 versions and remixes of a song that didn't even get a chance to marinate and go viral. Like, they were just like, oh, English version, ooh, remix, ooh. Y'all are never gonna be, what was her name? The girls that sing Cupid. You're never gonna have that moment, so just give it up, give it to God.
Keep taking all of my
Yeji finally had her real like actual solo debut, which I was actually kind of excited for. Didn't know was happening. Everyone knows I don't have the best relationship with ITZY. It's been rocky since 2020, and even though we haven't had like the best of relationships, one thing has always remained true. Actually, a couple of things. Dollar Dollar's their best song, Cherry Young is my baby, and Yeji and me have been like this. But yeah, I've loved Yeji for a long time. She did this show I think a year before ITZY debuted. She covered Dua Lipa's New Rules, but like since then I have always loved her, and I was like, no, that girl needs to debut. And unfortunately it just had to be an ITZY. So her debut song is called Air. Air is reminiscent of like 90s pop diva who has this grand comeback 30 years later to the mainstream, that's like carried or ushered in by the gays, you know, which is very much so Kylie with Padam, even though she had like successful albums in the 2000s. Well, I might just say successful album. Anyway, Air is like this funky groovy dance disco influence club track, and I actually kind of enjoy it until the chorus. I just think it just got really lazy there, and like they could have done a lot more with that, but it's just girl, turn it off, don't want to hear it. As for the album, I only liked Invasion and Can't Slow Me. 25/8 sounds like the generic fictitious pop music from 2011 that a main character on Victorious or iCarly would have like loved or sang at a big concert or something. Like, I don't know, so I don't really care for it, to be honest with you. This was the long-awaited return of the Christian horse girl queens themselves, G-Friend. After succumbing to the evil forces, the satanic rule known as Hybe and Le Sserafim. And as of the day that I'm recording this, can you show by a raise of hand how many of you out there like actually cared? Like I thought, nobody. But yeah, it's cute. It's no Mago or Apple or White or Three of Cups or Rough. It's certainly not no Love Aid. Furthermore, it's no Anti-Fragile or Crazy featuring Pink Panther. It's like both the title and the B-side are good songs. There's just nothing much to say about them. I really don't have much to say about this release besides the fact that it's like good. Once again, I went into it expecting to fully hate it, but also expecting for it to not really be good, because I think I can count on my hand the number of good songs that anyone related to G-Idol has released in the past 5 years. Okay, let me do it. Klaxon, I'm gonna give Soojin at least 3 good songs. Okay, that's 4. But hold on, when did Uh-Oh come out? Because if that's after 2020, then I apologize. Oh, and another thing, I don't even really like Minnie's voice. She has the Halsey type, like, I'm trying to tap into that chakra. Like, she has that voice and I don't like it. So, but this was actually good. Kudos. Okay, next on the list we have Sharks to Sharks. I was actually pretty excited for SM new girl group just to see what they were gonna give. Like, aespa has been here a good 4 to 5 years. Red Velvet has achieved greatness and reached the highest of heights, but they're on the outs. Like, they're not as active. FX, the greatest to ever do it. SES's legacy will live on for eternity, and then there's SNSD. So I was really curious to see what we were gonna get from SM girl group. They ended up being a nothing burger. Like, interesting. The songs are fine. If they were like filler, or like, I don't even know how these songs would work from an SM girl group, you know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't leave a lasting impression like a debut is actually supposed to do. It leaves you wanting more, but I don't care to see how the rest of their career plays out, because it's just like, I will say that Butterflies is a really good like song. It's a chill R&B track, which when I first got into K-pop, she would have lived for this. So I will be running that one back a little bit, just as a tribute to 2018 me. But the Chase debut, more like the sit down. Nobody's running to stream this, and I'll be running to turn it off or skip. I was gonna like try to start beef between women, but I can't think of anyone who debuted recently that had a good debut. I don't know, let me look at the wall. Girl, go stream Spicy. Like, I don't know, go stream Armageddon, go stream, what was their last comeback? Whiplash.
Like an earthquake.
Jisoo is the last Blackpink member that I expected to release music for obvious reasons. I thought she was just gonna be actor girly, but even if I did feel like she was gonna release music, I thought it would be like OSTs, or I thought it would come at a later date rather than like, wasn't it a little bit before Jennie? Like, what the hell? Well, they all kind of released their albums at the same time, which was probably planned. Like, I don't know. So yeah, I had very low expectations for a Jisoo debut. That is my sister. But raise your hand if you want to listen to a Jisoo song. Oh, okay. It didn't look very promising either. I did not like any of the teasers. It really just gave like, YG could have done this, especially compared to like where her sisters are. Ew, I didn't watch James Charles. Like, I'm so serious. I don't know why that just came out. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But especially compared to where her sisters are and like what they released, it was just like, oh thank you. Here's my analogy of her solo like teasers and stuff. I recently entered a new friend group, and for some reason all of their birthdays have just been like the past couple of months, and it's just like, I don't know what y'all like for real, like, to be honest with you. Like, and like the thing is, they've all been friends. Some of them have been friends since elementary, middle school, high school, whatever, and here I am, the new kid on the block, and y'all are expecting me to get gifts. So when they have their birthday event and we're going around the table and we're giving each other gifts, they're like, oh my god, I like this one, like, you. And then they get to my gift and they're like, ooh, Fenty Beauty, so cute. Like, that's how I was with Jisoo. It was like, ooh, so cute. But I ended up actually being like pleasantly surprised with the title track, Earthquake. I thought it would be kind of like reminiscent of Flower, but it's much more layered and dynamic compared to that. Once again, it does have that like old diva comes back to the mainstream. Like I said, padam, you're gonna be referenced a lot in this video. I don't know, maybe it's just because Jisoo my little baby, but it's cute. I like it. As for the EP, she ain't talking about shit. She was not talking about nothing on that damn EP, and I expected that to actually be good, because I was like, okay, Earthquake kind of was cute, but what else do you got for me? Nothing. Yeah, shit. We often place blame and misdirect our anger and frustration towards hit single Macaroni Cheese Singers Young Posse, but to be honest, they're like 13, okay? They don't know any better. It starts at home. The parenting is what's to blame here. And if you take a look at their family trio, you're gonna see that XG are their mothers. XG's to blame. They're the ones that we should have the pitchforks out for. Really, y'all too, because y'all liked whatever that song was with the rainbows and the Y2K and all of that, girl. That shit was mid. But don't waste all your energy on XG, okay? Because you want to go even deeper into their family tree, and this is when you're gonna skip over Blackpink to give 21 their whacking. As teased, I would have liked if Kiki ended up being this avant-garde, like quirky, boundary pushing K-pop group, but instead we're getting another rehash of just like misused AAVE by middle school dropouts, sporting clothing that's too big for them, bastardizing a genre that they've been inspired by. It's not interesting anymore. We get it. okay, like cool. What else? I don't know if this is legal to say in the streets of YouTube, but I don't think I like Chungha anymore, and I really haven't since I think Bicycle. I don't think she's released a song or an album that I've like lived for since then. And even before that, it was a little, we was only holding on to the Chungha train because she could sing and dance and perform, and we needed more of that. It's just been really bad for her around my streets, to be honest with you. And like, sure, we could say MNH was at fault there because they didn't really give her the resources, the creative freedom, creative control or whatever. But like, if you went to Jay Park's company, I don't think you wanted to be successful and like have a good career. So I think it was a mix of both of them. The album starts off with Creepin', which is a nice little trap song. Her sweet vocals juxtaposed with like overall vibe, the beat and the lyrics, they kind of serve to me like Red Velvet Tea. Like, sounds a little bit silly too, just because like I said, she has like this really sweet tone that she's using, but like whatever she's talking about not really matching up to it. But whatever, it was a cute song. She attempts to maximize her joint slay with Sunmi on the song Salty, which honestly just ended up being a Sunmi song to me. Sunmi just knows how to like work a track in this style. It's definitely the JYP half sound half air approach to singing that she was taught and clearly kept with her. It just sounds so good. Like, I'm sorry, I love Sunmi on here, and I can't really say the same for Chungha. Loyal is this two-step track, which is just really basic. Like, it just sounds like every other song out there. Stress, once again, we return to the pop diva sound. This time it's more of a house song, which ends up working against her for me because, like, no shade, there's like no soul to this song, and the bridge was also really corny, and that pissed me off. Beat of My Heart is this drum and bass track. You'll never be Hilary Duff though. It's just really like uninteresting, which is crazy because Hilary Duff's music like fucking sucks. So at this point in the album, I was just like, girl, I don't really care to hear the rest of it. There's 3 other songs, I believe. I genuinely like could not get through them. So my kind of review of this album would be that it starts off strong, but it quickly loses momentum, and I don't care to hear it. It's just not good. Let's get them next time, Tiger. Like, don't give up. You're almost there. Next we have Stacy, who released Baby, I don't know. It's a club track, and you know, they do attempt to dip into the Mother Lake. Once they were about to get in, that's when the lifeguard blows the whistle and it's like Adult Swim, everybody get out the pool. So they got a little hint of it, but not too much. It's a high energy track that I can appreciate. Even though it's high energy, I still kind of do want a lot more from this song. Like, just think, if this was released in 2016 by a completely different group, no, actually, let's say Stacy was a group in 2016. If this was a song released in 2016 by Stacy, it would be completely different on the top line. Like, the vocals would absolutely take over, especially towards the end of the song, and they just don't do that, and there would be no talk singing either. Like, but whatever, for what it is, I can appreciate it, whatever. But as usual with Stacy, it's nothing to be heard in them B-sides. I was giving them a chance because at first I wasn't gonna listen to it, but I was like, let me hear. No, you're not missing anything. Hey. Yes, my baby wants to be on here for the last release that we're going to talk about in this video, which is Lisa. This was just simply not good. It's really not my okay, you want to leave too? Me too, girl, I guess. I don't know. It's really not my prerogative to hear Lisa's black scent AAVE raps in between like these hollow pop tunes where like she obviously can't sing. The whole alter ego thing falls really flat. Sonically, the album is pretty consistent throughout its runtime. Rock, pop, hip-hop, those are pretty much the only genres here, and even then they're kind of like blended together. There's no like real separation between that like would match up to the alter egos. There's like maybe 2 songs that you could assign to an alter ego, but like really it doesn't even matter because it's just something silly and cute for the kids. I feel like when you think of an artist introducing an alter ego or having an era dedicated to one of their alter egos, or in this case multiple ones, you think of like this big change visually, sonically, whatever. But this is pretty much what you expected from Lisa, and also what we've heard from her before. There's nothing really different here, which also is another aspect of like the alter ego era that artists will have, there's supposed to be a risk taken, and I think the biggest risk was putting Ray and Doja Cat on a song and expecting me to listen to it. But we'll come back to it, because hold on, we're gonna come back to it. On the topic of the alter ego thing, she says in one song they want the old Lisa listen to my old shit. First of all, no. But like, okay, let's say I did, what's the difference? Like, the grandma is the baby. This is the old Lisa, like, to a T. Another note, I think visually it's a big letdown. It was very lazy. The teasers look like some shit you could throw together in Canva, which I feel like Canva would have given you better options. Like, I don't even use that, but surely it can do something better than this. This looks like Microsoft Word. But like I said, we're gonna go back to the songs. What's crazy is Born Again is the first song on this album, and it features Ray and Doja Cat, who I don't really like. Doja Cat gets a few streams out of me from Hot Pink era and In Your Eyes with The Weeknd. Past that, I don't care what she gotta say. Ray, first of all, she can never get a 10 out of me because of what she did to Tinashe. But then 2, I don't really like her music. There's only like 2 songs by her that I like, so it's just like, going into this, I didn't have the highest of hopes. I'm like, girl, this finna piss me off. Why was it the first and last good song on the album? And it was really good. Like, nobody said anything. That song is really, really, really good. Why didn't y'all let me know? Like, y'all are so fake. Anyway, like I said, I'm sorry if this video is like kind of boring, or if I seemed out of it. Repeating myself from earlier, I have a headache. I'm trying to get back into my happy era. I'm trying a new setup. Like, obviously I'm doing face videos, but like, it took me forever to kind of figure out where I wanted, or how I wanted the setup to be, and I ended up just going back to what it was originally. I was gonna film over here on my bed, but like, girl, that just looks nasty. And I was gonna film right here in my bubble chair, which is cute. It's okay, but I feel like right here is good because I could just put the... Anyway, also I filmed this right after getting home from my usual 9-hour work day. But yeah, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye.